In this video, we're going to finish up the CNC upgrade by doing the spoil board. Now the spoil board is a sacrificial board you put down on the CNC. You bolt it down to the CNC and you skim off a layer, making it completely flat. Now, the reason it's called a spoil board is it's a sacrificial board that you put your material you're actually going to cut on top. So when you cut through, it cuts into this spoil board that can be machined later flat once it's been used several times. The way I like to do it is I like to do a bottom MDF board first, I call it a base board. That will be bolted down with slots into the aluminum extrusions with T-nuts. And then in that baseboard, I'll also use threaded inserts and bolt down the spoil board into those threaded inserts, making it flat and then machining the top of the surface, creating a surface that's flat that will cut true. Now, another aspect I like about this using a baseboard is when this board is done, I don't have to unattach it from the aluminum, making it easier for me to switch this out once it gets to the point it cannot be used. I also like to use the baseboard because I can remove the spoil board and attach this pink foam vacuum grid on top of that. This is used to cut Dollar Tree foam board. I've used it for RC airplanes. I've used it for cutting foam board for Halloween costumes. All sorts of things Dollar Tree foam board is good for. And the way I've got this set up is I've got a 3D printed dust port, or actually a vacuum port, that I hook up to my shop vac and then bolt this down. And once the shop vac and the Dollar Tree foam board are put on it and turn it on, it sucks it down, it doesn't move at all. And I use a small, very small router bit to cut out the foam board, and it works fantastic. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the computer and I'll show you how I set up the DXF file and then bring it over to my CAM software and add the tool paths to the DXF file.
All right, I'm over here on my CAD software, and the CAD software I'm using is called DraftSite. And I've got the geometry set out for the baseboard, the spoil board top, and the spoil board bottom, and then my surfacing program I use for surfacing the spoil board. So I've got the different layouts. It's going to be 29 inches by 48 inches, and these slots right here correspond with the slots in the T. These slots right here correspond with the slots in the aluminum extrusion on the base of the CNC. And then I've got my spoil board top where I got the holes located and the holes for screwing the spoil board down to the baseboard. This is the bottom side of the spoil board where I've got a relief cut for the T-nuts that will go on the bottom side for my clamping system. So I have to save each of one of these off into its own file, making it a lot easier to do the programming in the CAM software. The CAM software I'm using is called ESTL CAM. And this CAM software, I like it because it's simple. It's got I can add tools. I can add all the information for those tools all on one page. Geometry in, and I've got all the machining operations laid out for my slots and for my threaded inserts. And I'll do this for all four programs. I think I'm going to do another video showing more in depth of this ESTL CAM software. It's got a lot of features in it that make it easy to program the CNC.
All right, so I got the CNC all put together. I got the base frame squared, the Y rails are parallel to each other, and I got all the electronics hooked back up, so it's working. I was able to jog it around, and I was able to get things working for it to be running. But then I was working on creating the spoil board. So I have a piece of MDF that is cut square on all the corners, edges, and I put it on the machine, and when I jogged the machine, it wasn't coming out square. So I was scratching my head for days trying to figure out what wasn't square. And come to find out that this X C-beam is not square to this Y plate. It's off. And so I was looking at it closer, and I put a straight edge on the Y plate, and it's bowed, it's warped, it's not sitting straight. So I didn't know how to fix that. So I was searching online on eBay looking for Y plates for WorkBee. And I came across Blue Ox Solutions, his store, and he creates aluminum plates for home-built CNCs. And he had a set of WorkBee Y plates. He's got his little logo right there engraved in it. And this is 1 inch taller than the original plate, so that gives me a little more Z height. So I went ahead and purchased these, and I'm going to get everything squared up, make sure the cut on the C-beam is square, and I'm going to install these new Y plates. All right, so again, I'll put the link in the description below on Blue Ox Solutions eBay page, and go check them out. All right, so for this portion of the upgrade, I need to cut the baseboard and the spoil board. So the baseboard is just a piece of 3/4 inch MDF that I'm going to lay down, and it'll attach to these rails. And I'm going to try a different method where I'm using these T inserts instead of L brackets that are still using these L brackets like that. That way I can take the board off without having to flip the whole thing upside down and just getting everything out of square again. So I'm going to use these T-squares. So in order to machine the baseboard, I need to raise it up so that when I go through, it doesn't go through into the aluminum. So I'm going to do that by using these pieces of 3/4 by about 1 inch pieces of MDF, and I'm just going to use the double-sided tape and put these pieces down, and we'll go from there.
After removing all the tape for the baseboard, I needed my son to help me out and line up the edges so that it was right on the edge for cutting it out.
All right, I got the spoil board, all the holes cut, drilled out, the perimeter cut all the way around it, and then these countersunk holes for bolting it down to the baseboard. So I have these T-nuts now that I'm gonna use, and I gotta flip this board over and machine a relief for this, so when it's sitting down flat, these don't keep it from sitting tight against the baseboard. So I'm going to flip that over and do those cuts now.
So I spared you the time lapse of cutting out the relief cuts, and now you can see me just adding all the T-nuts on the back side.
All right, so I got the baseboard all done. It works. The spoil board is all cut out, all the reliefs, the T-nuts are in. Now I'm going to bolt it down to the baseboard with these plastic screws. All right, so I got about 15 screws to put in, so I'll get started. So I've got everything pretty much wrapped up on the CNC WorkBee upgrade. The baseboard's done, the spoil board's done, it's all surfaced, ready for my next project. It's looking really great. I'm happy with how long I've made it. That'll open up a whole bunch of different possibilities for creating larger projects down the road. I'm going to close this video out. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you see you on the next video.